Hold on. Okay, so welcome. It is Thursday, April 25th. Yeah, it's April 25th, and baby, Mercury is out of here. This is the last day of Mercury in retrograde. Um, yeah, it needs to go. It needs to go. As you can see, well, first of all, the dog is here. My lights are just a little. I'm getting my hair done this weekend, y'all. This is really getting on my nerve. This has been every stream, that piece of hair. It's getting on my nerve, but whatever. So my lights are a little different. I have them red and blue for the New York Giants because yes, it is the NFL draft tonight. It's a lot going on tonight. So I live in Philly, so this weekend is actually the Penn Relays. A lot of the festivities are starting off tonight. Can't wait for this weekend. This weekend is going to be just filled with events in Philly. Um, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be. I have my notes ready. I got my iPad, got my little iPad. Yes. So, um, yeah, just a little bit about what's going on. So, there's still no name for this show, right? I've been going back and forth with a couple names. I think next week I will have one kind of solidified because I do want to have something where I can do like a really cute logo to put on merchandise and things like that. We're thinking about branding, so we can't just give it like any old name. So there's still no name. However, there is I've come up with a schedule. So this 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it just works for me. It just works for me. I can get on here. I can talk my trash. I can, do whatever I need to do. Oh God, I forgot to put my phone on. I forgot to put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. Do Not Disturb is on. Holla. So, um, yeah, I have my background music on. Let me turn it down before they flag me for like a copyright or something like that. But yeah, so um, yeah, I think that what was I saying? I was saying that, oh my God, I'm getting old. The fuck? Oh yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard. That works best for me. So I think that is what I am going to stick with in regards to going live. If anything like happens, if anything like major, like when Cassie sued Diddy and shit like that, right? We can do like really special, like okay, I'm just gonna go live, like wherever I'm at, I'm just gonna go live, because I usually do it on my phone anyway, so that's not a huge deal at all. So we can definitely go ahead and do that. Oh my God, so exciting. So in the background, I have been working on something very, very special, and I am so excited to announce that my website, B Wilson Beauty, is dropping. It is brand new. It's going to be redesigned. I'm so freaking excited for this. It's been a long time coming. It is mwah, chef's kiss. It's perfection. It's exactly what I have been looking for. And that is going to drop on May 1st. May 1st is the Wednesday? Yeah, it drops next Wednesday. I know that's a very odd day, but it's May 1st. It's something I wanted to get done in the second quarter. So here we go. This is the second quarter, and we're going with it. So if you would like to subscribe to get like early access and see what's on there, be a little nosy, you can go on bwilsonbeauty.com and there is like a little pop-up and you can subscribe to my email list. I will not be sending out a bunch of emails. I'm so sorry. I freaking hate getting a bunch of emails, so don't expect a bunch of fucking emails. But I will send out probably like twice a month. Yeah, I think like a twice a month. Yeah. So, yeah. So there's that. My cousin is texting me right now telling me like she said nothing's live. I'm live right now. Like, what in the world, girl? So yeah, if you get a chance, go on bewilsonbeauty.com. So there's that. Now that we're talking about this, I think that me relaunching my website is a good segue and discussing what is going on in the world because baby, the world is in shambles. The world is in shambles. This week has been weaking. I promise you. Like, I woke up Monday. Beyonce called everybody a bald headed scallywag. We're gonna get into that. This legislative thing that could shut down TikTok that has like come out of no fucking where. I don't know where that came from. Actually, I do. It was hidden in a larger thing. And from that, the potential of TikTok being shut down, which is a lot of creators' bread and butter, right? So let's just get into it. I come from, I guess you could say, I started social media with a lot of the OG people that you may remember. Like, everybody knows Jackie Aina. I don't know Jackie Aina. Well, I know Jackie Aina, but I don't know Jackie Aina. I remember Jackie Aina when she was Little Pumpkin Pie '05, right? So we're going way, way back. And this is before everybody started to realize how fucking problematic Jeffree Star was. And this is like before he launched his cosmetics, when Kat Von D was, first launching, and she was on YouTube so heavy and so hard and everything like that. This was a time when all creators had what? Their own website. I don't remember when we got away from that, and that being one of the most important and key factors when it comes to building your business as a creator. Being that person, like, that was like that was the golden standard. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have your own website, even if it's not a blog, even if it's just a one pager of how to get in contact with you, or if you just use it as a portfolio. You have to have your own website, because why? Things like this. It is something that people can't take away. Nobody can take that from you. It's like, you know, it's baffling to me how we got away from you owning your own website. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to blog heavily. I'm looking forward to getting back into it. And a lot of my content is going to live where? It's going to live on my website. Not a link from Instagram, not a link from TikTok, not a link from YouTube. It's going to be my content that lives on my website that I pay for. And like the cost of having a website, when you pay for hosting and you pay for your domain, most time, if you're paying for hosting, your domain is free. Another thing that is also free, usually, is you'll get like one email address. So you'll get like, whatever at, mineisbwilsonbeauty.com. So that right there, it kind of made you stand apart. You were like just a little bit more professional. I mean, that's neither here nor there, because I don't have a problem with Gmail, but whatever. Yeah, I think we need to get back into that. And one of the things with my website, I know I mentioned it before, is that I don't use Linktree. I don't use Linktree. I don't use any of those things. My Linktree is actually my freaking website. That's what it is. It's a page on my website where I have all of my links, and that's where they live. Because if Linktree decides to shut down today or tomorrow, everybody who has their Amazon shop and this and that, and like their TikTok shop, or even their WooCommerce and things of that nature, nobody has access to it. So now what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I think that those are all like business aspects that people need to think about. And, while we're on the subject, the whole possibility of a TikTok ban, right? I'm going to need people to read. I'm going to need people to do extensive research on it, because reading is fundamental, and we all need to make like very informed decisions. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm B Wilson Beauty on everything, right? So if you follow me on Instagram, I will be posting a link to the Washington Post. It is a wonderful podcast where they broke down exactly what this legislation measure is and how they kind of snuck in one paragraph about TikTok. And if you ask me, it's fucking bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. What it is it's basically trying to get rid of free speech, because TikTok, aside from being a place where you find like really fun dances and cleaning hacks and makeup hacks and all these other things, the one thing that we get from TikTok is information. We get a lot of information. We get it fast. We get it accurate. Like we get a lot of shit from TikTok. So yeah, it's like what are we doing here? What are we doing? Um, that's pretty much it. And I mean, like, especially with them possibly shutting down TikTok, and then the other young lady that unfortunately passed away because she had colon cancer and everything like that. I don't think that people really understand because I've been seeing a lot of hateful comments, which is not even hateful. They're just fucking unhinged. Okay, let's call it what it is. The comments have been unhinged when it comes to TikTok. Like, oh, now you guys got to get a real job. Like, how does it feel, coming back to the real world and da 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 da. Let's be clear. Even if TikTok shuts down today or tomorrow, it'll be like any other social media platform that was here today, gone tomorrow, right? Like Vine and everything else. And then I remember it's not shut down, but at one point everybody was on, what's that other one where you just talk to people? I forgot. I forgot what it was, right? Everybody signed up for Lemonade. Everybody was on MySpace. Everybody was, I know I'm aging myself. Everybody was on Black Planet. I even remember the AOL groups at one point in time. People were getting popular off of that. There will always be a social media platform. There will always be. It just is. Instagram isn't going anywhere. YouTube isn't going anywhere. My advice to any creator that's on TikTok, right? And that's really going hard in the paint. TikTok will at least be here until January 2025. We know that much. That is something that set in stone. It'll be here at least until 2025, possibly longer than that, right? Depending on if they sell it, whatever they do, right? You have until January 2025. I would say whatever following you have, I would kind of start easing them over to other social platforms. Not even other social platforms. I would get them into the habit of going to your website and signing up for your email list. That's what I would do. I would hands down have all of my following go over to my website. And if I have anything that's like important on Instagram or anything like that, I'm going to share it in my monthly newsletter or my bi-weekly newsletter. Because guess what? That's all you're getting out of me. You're not getting a weekly newsletter out of my ass. It's not going to happen. Because I still keep my 9-to-5 job, okay? I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sad. I'm still keeping it, right? So that's like my biggest thing. If you are on TikTok, if you are a creator, if you are a TikTok shop, I would start investing very heavily into an actual website. I know a lot of people use Square, a lot of people use Shopify. Shopify is the GOAT when it comes to online stores. And I would just get people into the habit of like, hey, if you like this, then I have a very limited edition that's going to be on my website, and get people into going to your website. Like, I'm going to preach this and this is going to be the hill I die on in regards to like being on social media and everything else. Stop letting other people control how you make money. You don't own these sites. We don't own TikTok. And speaking of TikTok, I'm going to put it out there since they want TikTok to sell to someone in the US. Do you know what would be so scandalous and so fucking funny? TikTok should literally go through their, everybody who signed up via the US, right? And they should go eeny, meeny, miny, fucking mo. And they should sell TikTok to that person for $1. And I'm like hoping that it's one of my favorite like tea accounts like Nosy Bystander or Twizzy. Is it Tizzy or Twizzy? Because he's like exposing racists and stuff like that. Or even somebody that's like really, fun or funny. Like I always follow this young lady. It's Millie Chan. And she always goes over some of my favorite reality shows that's on like OWN and whatnot. That's what they should do. They should go eeny, meeny, miny, mo and sell it to like an American for like $1. And see how, and listen, y'all said the only issue was that it was, that it was owned by somebody in China. Now it's owned by an American. So what you got to say now? And that really doesn't make any fucking sense, because if that's the case, then why didn't y'all shut Home Depot down? Because they damn sure had a breach, and my information was all over the black web when all I wanted was a fucking toilet seat. So there is that. I mean, again, if you are wondering about the podcast that the Washington Post put out about the possible banning of TikTok in the United States, again, I will have that link on my Instagram, and I am at B Wilson Beauty on Instagram, so you can go and follow me there as well. For TV and film, May is going to be really, really good because my favorite show, Bridgerton, well, not favorite, is one of my favorites. My favorite show is actually like all of the FBI's right now, and they're like in the middle of their season or whatever. But Bridgerton season 3 drops on May 16th. That is part one. Part two drops in June. And June is going to be really, June is going to be juicy because House of Dragons comes back. On Max. Listen, if you are a Game of Thrones fan, and I didn't think that I was going to be a House of Dragons fan because I am very faithful to Game of Thrones, right? It's that work. It's that work. It's that work. And the Targaryen daughter that is kind of like, she's like Team Black because I'm definitely Team Black. I got to get my Team Black shirts. I got to go to like Walmart or Target or I don't know, somebody that sells like the Game of Thrones t-shirts. I have to get my Team Black t-shirt ASAP before it drops. That is Daenerys, our Khaleesi. We love her down, and she deserved better than to die like that. I hated that scene. Hated that. Fucking hated it. But anyway, this is like her great 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 grandmother. Baby, I see it. I see it now. But yeah. Bridgerton drops on season 3. It drops in May. And I'm very interested to see, whether or not she finally gets with Colin. To be honest, I don't even know if I would like Colin anymore because it's been 2 seasons and he has consistently overlooked you. He actually was going to propose and get married to, I don't even know who that girl was in the first season. I'm still kind of baffled about that. Like, was that your cousin? A friend of the family? I don't know. Like the girl who showed up and she was like already pregnant by somebody else. That was a mess. That right there. I might do a Bridgerton recap episode, like a special live, just to recap Bridgerton for all of those who care. I fucking care. So yeah. And then also on Netflix, I finished, and I think I talked about it very briefly, but I didn't get into like the characters and things like that. I finished Unlocked on Netflix. It is I'm gonna call it a reality show because it's very set up very much like a reality show. But it is a social experiment where they are in an Arkansas prison, and basically they are in a 23-1, meaning that the men in here on this particular block are locked up for 23 hours a day, and they are let out for 1 hour a day. And if some shit goes down, then everybody goes into lockdown. So the social experiment is that all the doors are unlocked, and they come and go, and they have to build a community, and they basically are just running the cell block themselves. All of these prisoners, right? So at first, it's you're looking at it and you're watching it, and I'm like, oh my god! And they're doing like the interviews with the gentlemen that are locked up, and there's some juveniles in there. There's like some old heads and things of that nature, and it's I don't know how to feel about this show. I don't know, Netflix. I really don't know. Like in the beginning, it's like it's building like a sense of community because they have to come up with their own rules. They have to come up, with a way, because if anything pops off, like fights, riots, whatever, they go right back to the 23-1. And as things are going really well, they're getting like perks, like, so phone calls became free because some people didn't have money on their books to talk to like family and friends, and then they got, well, I think like 1 extra day of visitation. And again, to have somebody visit you, that means a lot, right? Here's the cons to that, okay? And forgive me for my ignorance. I was under the impression because everybody always pushes it to you that, prison is for reform and it's to help them, come in, realize what they did bad so that when you get released, you don't do it again. And and that show quickly reminded us that some of the men in there were like looking at life sentences. Like that was a prison that they went to before they go to serve like life sentences and 30 and 40 years and shit like that, right? Like some of these guys were fucking hardened criminals and shit, right? Like crazy. But there was no reform. Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. There was no fucking reform. None. From what I saw, none. There was zip zero none. There was one gentleman who spoke about how he did a lot of drugs, and his sister that was there, and God bless her, because she was like really standing by her brother, standing by her family. And he was looking like, yeah, I really need to find like a rehab, because I'm good as long as I stay away from people with drugs. I won't come back here as long as I stay away from drugs and everything else. And I got to thinking like, I thought that's what prison was for. I thought they put you in like a rehab-esque type while you're in prison. I thought that was the point. And they did this and they were like trying to build community and everything else. And just to hear the long-term trauma that these men have been through, and not even in jail. Not even in jail. We're not even talking about what happens in jail, okay? I am talking about like from one gentleman was talking about his childhood. And Tiny, I personally think that Tiny is a fan favorite. Like he's such a likable person. But when he talks about how he grew up and how he was always like the smallest out of his friends and things like that. And so he always carried a knife. Doesn't like guns, but he will shank you. I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. And just growing up in gang culture and things like that. And it's just like, where was the therapist? Where was anybody that's actually going to help these men transition to the outside world, to the real world? I am baffled. I'm fucking baffled. Like that took me out. Because like now after watching that, please don't tell me jack shit about reforming anybody in prison, about bringing them out and making them better, because you're not. Where was it? Because we didn't see it. John Q. Public, like myself, we didn't fucking see it. Where was it? Yeah, that was not. I feel like all of these men were just set up. I feel like the prison system, I'm really, truly, I was convinced before, but I'm really, truly convinced now that once you get in that shit, you will never get the fuck out. Never. Maybe 1 out of 100 will get out. But yeah, that shit is a setup. But okay, I digress. Real Housewives of Potomac season 9 started filming. Well, that's like, I guess the buzz or whatever. We talked about this. I'm not watching. I'm not watching. I will not be watching this fucking colorist shit. I am so sorry. You will not get 1 minute out of me, okay? I'm not giving you a Nielsen rating. Yeah, fuck y'all. Andy, yeah, trash. I'm sorry. I just can't. I have heard a lot of my fellow creators on TikTok have been talking about how they are boycotting season 9. And to be perfectly honest, there's really nobody. There's nobody on there that we really want to watch on Real Housewives of Potomac. Like, y'all not bringing Wendy back. I mean, oh yes they are. They're bringing Wendy back. Y'all not bringing Monique back. To be honest, the only people that I really want to see is Karen, Wendy, and really Monique. Giselle, she can take her ass. She can go. She can go. If NECA is off, that's perfectly fine. Because, I mean, I had such high hopes for NECA. Such high hopes. I was like, okay, period. She's an attorney. Her husband is a doctor. I really thought that she was going to give us like, African fabulous, like over the top, like luxurious, like being extra for no reason. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. I don't know where we got into this fucking cut and paste DIY, living with your baby daddy because neither one of y'all can afford to live apart. BS, like, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it. Real Housewives of Potomac, I know nobody from Bravo is listening to my ass. You need to shut that shit down. Shut it down. Reboot it. Bring back the Real Housewives of DC. Because Potomac is really not that far from DC. It's not a hard transition, okay? And give me Fabulous, okay? Give me yachting in the National Harbor, okay? And yes, they do. They yacht in the National Harbor, okay? I go down there enough to know. I want to see all the shopping. I want to see all the fabulous. Where's Neiman's at Tyson's Corner? We haven't been there. What's going on? I need to see I need to see these women living luxuriously. Okay? I need to see you having a meeting with your house manager about what the fuck is going on in your house. I need more Moniques on the show. Oh, no, I have 4. I have 4 houses. Okay? That's what we want to see on the show. All the rest of that, you can keep it. You can keep it. NECA, I'm so disappointed in that bullshit because I really thought that she was going to come on there and show the fuck out. I was like, oh, we're finally getting glitz and glamour. Holla fucking Luya, And all you did was come on there and attempt to argue with Wendy. Meanwhile, Wendy's husband is making $2 million in 6 months. Speaking of Wendy, I think that she should leave. I think that she should leave the Real Housewives. And I think that she should continue on with her political commentary. I think she's really good. And surprisingly, because I watched 2 episodes of her show that is actually on YouTube. It's really fucking good. Like, it's really good. It flows. Yeah, Wendy, I would pay them bitches dust. I would just go ahead being fabulous. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm over it. I am. I'm just really over the Real Housewives of Potomac. I thought that Potomac was going to give me, the black girl version of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Like, bitch, if I'm going to argue, I'm going to argue over some champagne and caviar. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck? Like, what? Really? So, there's that. What else? It's like so much going on, right? Oh gosh. Oh, congratulations to Candace. Since we are talking about the Real Housewives of Potomac, congratulations to Candace. I'm so happy that she chose happiness. I am so happy that she decided to leave and enjoy her time being pregnant with her husband who loves her very much. That's why them other green-eyed bandits is fucking haters. But listen, okay. On to Beyonce news, because is there a show if we don't talk about Beyonce? Is there a show if we don't talk about Beyonce? Can I get on here and not talk about Beyonce? No. Because basically I woke up Monday morning and Beyonce told all of y'all that y'all are some bald-headed ass scallywags, okay? That's exactly what happened. That's what happened. Okay, that's not what happened, but in my mind, that's what happened, okay? So, Beyonce shared her wash day with us, her sacred wash day, using the products, parting the hair and everything else. And of course, there was a plethora of fucking haters who were like, oh my gosh, she's using a filter. What fucking filter is going to give you long hair? And even if she did use a filter, like for her face or whatever, everybody uses a filter. All of y'all use filters. Like, are we really going there? We really going there about a filter? Can I do a filter on here? I believe I can. I don't know. I think I can. I don't fucking know. This is weird, but whatever. I'm pretty sure that sooner or later YouTube is gonna come up with a filter because I know when you go live on like Instagram and TikTok, you can definitely put a filter on yourself. So there's that, right? But two things, okay? After Beyonce posted her wash day, which was absolutely fabulous, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go to the salon and use my sacred products because yes, I did order them, okay? But we all know I don't wash my own hair. It's not my ministry, okay? I will go to the salon to get my hair washed. I will. I will. It's one of those luxury things that I just do for myself. Mind your fucking business, okay? Thank you. Um, Not only that, but then Blue Ivy posted. And we really missed that Easter egg in the Renaissance movie because the sacred products, they were using them on Blue Ivy. I believe that Beyonce has been using all these products for years. On herself, on Kelly, on Michelle, on Blue. I think she uses it on Rumi as well as Star. You know, because it's shampoo. It's not a men's product, a women's product. You just use it, right? And it's just so funny to me because now everybody is a fucking kitchen beautician. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so now all of y'all are like, all of y'all beauticians now? I'm confused. But okay. Because here's the thing. When you go on the website, nowhere in there does it say that this product will grow your hair. It's not a miracle growth. It's not any of that. What it does say is that it will help your hair retain moisture and strength. It's more for performance, right? Now, as somebody who is in the hair industry, the one thing I can tell you is that if your hair retains moisture and strength, it's bound to grow. That's kind of like, it kind of goes hand in hand. And I don't understand why, Beyonce putting out hair products is such a huge deal, right? Because there's been so many people who have done it before her. And I can remember at one point in time where a lot of people that are saying the same, talking trash about sacred products, were talking about shea butter powder, right? And if you know shea butter, it comes from, Africa, and they put it on their hair, and it helps with what? Retaining moisture and strengthening. And that's why you saw all of these African women with these super long, like this is fake, okay, obviously, but they had like these super long down to their waist length braids of their hair because they were using that shea butter powder. And I was using shea butter for a very long time. I was using it as an oil, and that's how my hair grew out because it was retaining moisture and it was strong and it wouldn't grow to a certain length and break. Like, I just need y'all to read. I do. I really do. I need you guys to just, oh my gosh. Enough with the TED Talks. Y'all just mad. That's Beyonce hair. That's Beyonce hair. She colors her hair and she chooses to color her hair over perms, which I can, and a lot of y'all don't do that. And that's why y'all don't have no hair. Because a lot of y'all will perm. I've seen a lot of people perm their hair and color their hair. And that's why you don't have any fucking hair. Okay? I cannot wait to use my sacred products. My friend has the oil. The smell is, ooh, fun. I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. Okay? And will my hair be nice, moisturized, and strengthened under some bundles? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Just so you know. So, yeah, the last thing on my list was, well, not the last thing, but close to the last thing. I'm gonna say how my friend said it. Are we calling him Uncle Shay Shay, Club Shay Shay? What are we calling him right now? Okay, because Uncle Shay Shay, right? My friend put it ever so eloquently. You need to stick to the rivers and mountains that you know. Amanda Seales is not it, okay? First things first, this 3-hour interview with Amanda Seales was fucking everything. everything. I mean, the one thing that I will say about Club Shay Shay is I love how everybody gets on there and it is like a no holds barred, nothing is off the table. Oh, it is so deliciously messy. I I love it. I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I live for this shit, right? Um, but Amanda Seals. I have a brand new love and appreciation for Amanda Seals. After hearing her and like this interview, I think this interview was probably one of the best that I've seen her do. Again, because it was just so raw. It was just so real. She talked about being diagnosed with autism and being on the spectrum and like at one point in time having low self-esteem and believing all of the things that people were saying about her, like, oh, I don't like you. And it's like you don't really have a reason why, or the reason why you don't like someone is not actually a valid reason. It's not because she's a malicious person. It's just because, I don't know, you don't like her tone, or you don't like the fact that she goes above and beyond, crosses every T, dots every I. I can actually, I can definitely see that as somebody who goes through that. I'm going through that now, and I have been through that quite a bit. Like people just be like, "Oh, I don't like you. You think you're all that." No, you think I'm all that. So yeah, I loved when she read down about Issa Rae's publicist. Baby, that is how you clear a room, okay? Okay? I was shocked that this woman actually called her back and was like, "So you don't want to know why I don't like you?" So watch the interview. So she gives you an explanation about the whole Issa Rae, and I know we heard about this years ago when she was on Insecure and everything else, and it was just like, oh, she got kicked out of a Insecure party. And it was just like, oh, Issa didn't kick her out the party. And the publicist apparently called her to let her know, like, hey, Issa didn't kick you out the party. I kicked you out the party because I don't like you. And she was like, oh, okay, and hung up. And so then the publicist calls her back and was like, you don't want to know why I don't like you? And she was like, no, you can discuss why you don't like me with your therapist. And that is how you clear a bitch, okay? Enough said. Period. Period. There's like actually another creator on TikTok, right? And she goes on to say that if you ever give her the silent treatment, please keep that energy for the rest of your life. Because and I feel that. I feel that in my soul. If you ever give me the silent treatment, or you just stop speaking to me and you don't want to have a conversation about whatever is bothering you, whether it could be the biggest thing, the smallest thing, whatever, right? Please keep that energy. Because guess what I'm going to do? Give you zero energy. Because at this point, nobody gives a fuck why you're mad. Why are you mad? You're mad, but you don't have your frontal lobe isn't developed enough to have a conversation so that you can express yourself with your words. Yeah, I don't have the fucking time. I don't have the fucking time. I don't. I'm be honest, I really don't. But yeah, that interview was damn good. She talked about her time at Disney, growing up. She cleared the conversation. I had no clue that so many people were having that conversation that Amanda Seals' mom was white. Who the fuck said that? Who said that? That a mess. A mess, right? So, oh, my baby is back. He is here. He wants his head rubs and his attention. So yeah, he is back. He is back, my little fat baby. I don't know if you guys can see his nose because he's like right here. Hi, baby. His allergies are bothering him because he's getting little eye boogers all the time now. So gotta give him his allergy medicine. But yeah, the last thing, and this is the last thing, because I never thought that in doing this whole like live and everything else, I never really looked at it as like getting serious or getting on a high horse and a soapbox or TED talk or whatever you want to call it, right? But here we go. Here we go. Because this week has been a week. And if you guys are following Nosy Bystander, first of all, I fucking love her, okay? You got to follow Nosy Bystander on TikTok. And she has been doing some coverage of like, Trump's with the Supreme Court. Let me just explain something to y'all, right? This whole Trump and the Supreme Court is the most unhinged shit I have ever seen in my life, okay? His attorney really got up there and said, like, really tried to justify unaliving someone simply because that person is Trump's opponent. I it 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 is the type of, I don't even know what the word to say. It's just something that you hear in like third world dictatorship countries. Okay. But one thing is for certain, one thing was very clear, right? Is that this man has made it very clear that if he gets elected as president, he will be the last one. He will not be giving up that seat. He will not be giving up that seat. Okay. And I don't know why people are questioning this, especially after what happened again by his hand, by his encouragement on January the 6th, right? Even with the whole TikTok ban, even with the legislature, because that has a lot to do with like foreign policy and everything else. They just kind of slid TikTok in there, right? They thought that we weren't going to notice, okay? And it's just so wild to me that all of this is going on, yet we still don't have proper health care for a majority of the citizens, right? Affordable, let's talk about it. Proper, affordable health care, proper, affordable housing. We don't live in a place where, you can live comfortably off of one income. Okay. Yet y'all still asking us to have kids. All right. The maternal death rate is just child care. I have had some people tell me that child care is more than their mortgage. Ain't no fucking way. Okay. More than my mortgage? Ain't no fucking way, right? You have children who are illiterate, who are not learning the basic ABCs, 1, 2, 3s in school. There's so, I can go on and on and on. Student debt is at an all-time high. Here's what it is, right? Please don't ask me to protest for shit. Do not, because I'm not doing it. I will not be leaving my house. I will not be getting out and protesting, okay? What y'all need to do is vote. And I am not talking about just in a presidential race, right? The president, Biden, okay, you and Kamala, y'all cute or whatever. But we are talking about, they are just the face, right? They are the face of the company. They don't run the company. They're just, the people that we see, right? The people who actually run the company, who actually run the United States, that would be Congress and Senate. Congress, Senate, and even a little sprinkle of the Supreme Court, right? Because they can change the laws and everything else and everything else, right? I need people to actually start researching who is running in their state. I need y'all to start researching who is your congressperson, okay? Who is your senators, okay? Who is your the state attorney? That's very important for your state. Who is the state attorney for your state? Who is your governor? Okay, because that is I hope that this is one of the educational things that TikTok is putting out. That voting in your state, voting locally. Who are your council people in your city? Who is on your school board where you live? Who is your fucking mayor? That means more than any presidential race. It means more. It means more than any presidential race. I cannot stress that because we are a democracy, okay? We need to go back to the 70s and roll up on them and sit in their offices and let these senators and these governors know, especially like Senate and Congress, we voted you in, we will vote you the fuck out of here. You will not, okay? I'm not going with this. You do know all of this is public. All of this is public record. You can pull up somebody's voting record in Congress and find out how they voted, whether they voted yay or nay. You can tell who voted to get rid of TikTok and everything else. As a matter of fact, you can even see who put that in there. Who put that in there? And then start researching who gives them the most money in donations because they have to have campaign donations. And I'm telling you this, Mark Zuckerberg is all up and down this, baby. This got Mark name all over it, okay? He probably mad because TikTok is really shutting Instagram down. I'm just saying. Right? But honestly, we need to get back to the fact that this is a freaking democracy. We live in a democracy and we need to take that shit back, okay? You need to call your congressman and let them know, I will vote you the fuck out come November. You will not have a leg to stand on. Pennsylvania just had their primaries on Tuesday, baby. It was chaos. Yeah, them polls, I never, in a primary, as long as I have lived here, I have never seen that many people come out and vote in a primary. In the actual election, yes. Primaries, no. Baby, they were out. They were out in droves. And there were lines, okay? So once again, please do not ask me to protest for shit. Because, we can protest and everything else. Do you want to hit them where they hurt? Vote them the fuck out. Get rid of them. Okay? Let them know that your job is on the line. Because that's what it is. They have a job to do. Okay? Congress and Senate and even the governor, they are literally elected to represent a constituent. Guess who's the constituent? You are. You are the constituent, okay? There is a reason why felons can't vote. Can you imagine if we gave felons the right to vote? Can you imagine if they actually had to campaign in some of these prisons, the way some of these people are treated? Shit would change in prisons very, very quickly. It wouldn't be the cash cow. It damn sure wouldn't be the cash cow that it is now. We have to start. You got to start looking at the big picture. You got to start looking at the big picture. There's so much money in prisons. And you can Google it. You can look it up. You can go on TikTok and see all you need to see about it. Okay? It's not fun. I've never been to prison, but it doesn't look fun. It doesn't look like someplace that I would want to be or anybody else. Like, these are all things that we need to pay attention to. We all need to call our congressperson and say, when November comes around, because I am a registered voter, you won't do it. You won't be my congressman. I'll vote for fucking Mickey Mouse before I vote for you. So yeah, and on top of that, I think a lot of people need to stop being scared to run for office. Like, seriously. Like, really stop being scared to run for office and do what needs to be done. Because that's another thing. A lot of these motherfuckers are so old and they're literally running unopposed. And that's a huge problem. Huge problem. I was watching C-SPAN one day and one of the senators had a jitterbug phone. So, if you don't know what a jitterbug phone is, like, it's literally like this big. Like, I wish I was exaggerating, but it's literally like maybe half. Yeah, it's like this big. It's like this half. So this big, like this wide and it folds and then it unfolds. And you can, I don't even know if you can text on a jitterbug phone. And the only reason I know it is because the older people in my family have had jitterbug phones. And it's like, it's fucking huge. The numbers are like this big, and I am so sorry, and I hate to be like an ageist or anything else. I just don't believe that any senator, especially somebody who represents me, um, that's using a jitterbug phone should be in Senate. You need to retire. You definitely need to fucking retire. Especially because I just think that you're so out of touch. There is no way at my big age that somebody that is in their 60s and 70s can actually represent me. You absolutely the fuck not. Not the way I be going back and forth with my mama and my aunties and everybody else. Ain't there's no way. There's no fucking way. They probably still believe that, like, I don't know. I don't know. Find something. Yes, they have it at 24 point. Absolutely. Yo, the crazy part is that on C-SPAN, if they kept the camera on that man, you could have read whatever he was sending because it was that fucking big. The text was like this fucking big. And I just think that, like, there's no way that you can represent a majority of the people. And no offense to the boomers, because that's who they are. They're boomers. Actually, all offense to the fucking boomers, because y'all are the reason why all of this shit. Like, you grew up in a time where a house cost $5,000. A house cost six. If you got a really nice house, it was like $7,000, $8,000. You know what I'm saying? And like the median income was like, I think $4,000 a year, and milk was still 10 cents and everything else. Bitch, you know what I'm paying for eggs? That's y'all fault. And then you're walking around wondering, like, oh my God, well, why don't kids want to buy houses and everything else? Have you seen mortgages? Have you seen mortgages? Right? Like, exactly. There were so many opportunities, and they literally closed the door behind them. You bit off your nose to spite your face, and now it is coming back to fucking haunt you. You did something that was based off of systemic racism. When black people started buying houses and buying properties and buying cars and just living our fucking lives, what did you do? You bought in FICO. And here comes a credit score. And now, and mind you, we didn't even have credit scores. Credit scores didn't even exist until the late 80s. Okay? So that means that when my parents got their properties, when my mom got her house and everything else, she did it without a credit score. Without a credit score, right? Car without a credit score back in the day. And now, fast forward, you're looking at your grandchildren like, why don't you want to have kids? Why don't you want to buy a house? Because their credit is fucking trash. And, right, their credit is trash. And I can remember so many times when I got out of school, there were so many people that couldn't get apartments. Car insurance, paying $300-$400 a month in car insurance, because at that time, car insurance used to look at your credit score, right? Now they don't do that anymore, but at that time they did. And you know, a lot of them went back home to their parents' houses, and it was just like, well, why? Well, because we couldn't get jobs when we got out of school. That's the first part about that shit. And then the second part of it is that, like, their credit was trash. Most people got credit cards in college, and what did y'all teach us about credit when we were in school? Because my mom didn't tell me about credit. My parents didn't tell me about credit. They did not tell me shit about credit. I think the most I ever heard was like, yeah, you need good credit, right? My mom did not tell me jack shit about credit, okay? Which is the same as most people. A majority of people they were not taught about how important your credit score will be in this life, right? And you know, whereas I'm still trying to figure out. Let me do some math. Hold on, because there was that article, and you know, people were like, you know, we have one child, and that's going to be the fuck that, because their childcare was $26,000 a year. Now, I'm still trying to wrap my head around $26,000. Um, mm, mm. $26,000. That is the biggest fucking side eye that I can actually muster. So 26,000, and we're just going to divide that by 52 weeks because we know that the child has to go to summer care and everything else, right? You want me to put out $500 a week, $500 a week in child care, in fucking child care. And to be perfectly honest, I don't even understand that because when you go to a lot of these daycares, the people who work in the daycare are actually not making that much money. Like a lot of the people who work in daycares, they are literally like 12, $13 an hour, like people. And it's like if I'm making $13 an hour and okay, I'm working 40 hours, that's $520 a week. That's no money. That's not enough money for them to actually survive. And you think like a lot of these classes, you want 500. We gonna do the math on this one, right? We are doing the math on this one because if you are somebody and you have 17 kids in a class and each one of those kids are $500, that's $8,500 a week, and your only overhead is $500 for the one teacher, or maybe 1,000, maybe okay, three teachers, $1,500, right? So, I mean, where's the rest? Like, so the rest of this money is going into the owner's pockets. That's fucking bullshit. It's wild. It's wild. And I was talking to a friend of mine, right? And again, his daughter is in school now, right? And I was a little bit taken aback and I was shocked because we were talking and he was talking about tuition. I was like, but you live in the suburbs. And he's like, well, yeah, but she goes to private school. And I'm like, but you live in the suburbs. Because what we were told, this is the lie that we were sold, okay? Is that if you have a child, then you need to move out of the city, right? Because the school districts in the city are just not as good as the school districts in the suburbs, and your child will get a much better education. That is a fucking lie. Because apparently the school district in the suburbs, and I know this man lives in the really nice suburbs. Like he lives in a nice suburb of Philadelphia. And I know that that was by design, because he does have a child. And I'm just like, so you move your ass all the way out to the fucking suburbs and you still got to pay for private school? Yeah. Yeah. That's a hell no for me. It's a hell no. Because it was just like, oh, you move into the suburbs and then, like your child will like have the best schooling in public schools and the school districts and the teachers are amazing. And that's a lie. Because you're now you all the way to fuck out yonder. And you still gotta, no, absolutely not. Mm-mm. 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 I can't do it. I can't do it. Listen, there was a huge reason why, child free by choice. And we can talk about that another time, but I don't have any eggs frozen. I don't. I did have the opportunity when I was younger. I did not because I just knew that I just did not want children. Between the mortality rate of black women, and then we talk about like the cost, and even still, no offense to the people around me, but you motherfuckers are not a good example of child rearing because I know so many married single moms. I know so many married single moms. Like, and I'm not going to say that they're unhappily married or whatever, but when it comes to the kids, yeah, that shit falls all the way back on them, and what really made me not steadfast in my choice not to have children is that, by all intents and purposes, my friend is happily married. She's happily married. However, the child rearing does fall back on her. And it really was eye opening to the point where she was like, if I ever got pregnant, I would just go ahead and get rid of it and not say anything because I know that he would want to have it, but all the child rearing will fall back on me, regardless of what he brings financially to the table, to take care of the household and everything else. All of the child rearing, all of the up at night at the table doing the homework and the this and the that and the getting people up and ready for school. And she was like, yeah, no. And that was the most honest conversation about children that I've ever had with anybody in my life. And it over the years, it stuck with me. And it really did solidify my choice to be child free by choice. Yeah. I still have my two fur children. They are like my kids. I gotta take care of them motherfuckers too. But yeah, as far as like a child, and I'm perfectly fine with that. We can have another conversation about how I am financially planning for growing old because I'm not going in an old folks home. Nursing homes. Let me tell you something. We're going to have another financial conversation about that because daycares and nursing homes are the biggest fucking money grabs. They really are. And I think that especially, people who are choosing to be child free, let's be honest, and even people who have kids, there's no guarantee that your kids are going to take care of you. There's what? Absolutely not. So having a private nurse is very expensive. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I am already financially planning because what you will not do is put me in a motherfucking home. It's just not. It's not going to happen. But before I go, let's see what's going on. Let me see what the NFL draft is doing before we get out of here. Okay. So, oh wow. Caleb Williams is drafted first. The Chicago Bears. Yeah. Quarterback. Okay, comes from USC. USC has been doing it. I'll be interested in what happens for this upcoming. The Commanders also chose a quarterback, Jayden Daniels. We have the Patriots. So yeah, I feel like you never fuck what. I am so fucking. Let me just say something to you, right? And I'm so frustrated right now. Okay, the New York Giants chose wide receiver Malik Neighbors from LSU. Mind you, I know who this young man is. I have followed his college career. And listen, no shade. Wonderful wide receiver. Wonderful wide receiver. But New York Giants, I want to need you to be so fucking for real right now. Like we don't need a quarterback. Are we really going to go into the 24-25 season with the same fucking quarterback? Are you fucking kidding me right now? I swear to God, it better be a fucking trade. It better be something in that bitch. Sorry. God damn it. You know what? Let me calm down. Let me calm down. Let me bring it down. You know why? Because this has been years of this. This team has caused me so much mental stress over the fucking years, right? And don't get me wrong. You mean to tell me Neighbors comes from LSU. He's a very good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. He will be much needed for this team, right? However, we really going to stick it out with that trash ass quarterback that we have now? There better be a motherfucking trade. Giants, there better be a trade. There better be a trade. And let me just tell you something. Eagles has the number 22 pick, so it's going to be a minute before that one. Can I just tell you, like, in all honesty, right? They've really been trying to convert me for years to be an Eagles fan. And Baby, I'm this motherfucking close. I'm this close. Because as bad as we need a quarterback, because our quarterback, the Giants quarterback, is fucking trash. Fucking trash. Like, they stressing me out. I'm just gonna go now. Um, well, we'll see. Again, thank you guys who have tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. I am gonna get better at posting little clips and shit online to let you guys know that I go live. I go twice a week, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can follow me on all. I just cannot fucking believe that they chose a wide receiver. Jesus Christ. You can follow me on all social media platforms at B Wilson Beauty. Again, hopefully next week I'll be announcing and like an actual official name for this show. I don't even know why I have my colors up here after this freaking team played in my fucking face yet again. It's going to be a long football season. It is. It's going to be a long football season. And I know that all the guys in the office, because I work with a majority of men, and it's no secret I'm a Giants fan. It's gonna be a really long football season. Whew. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're gonna end this live. I'm gonna have another drink. Okay, cheers. Bye.